Good evening, West Orange, and welcome to our council conference agenda. Madam Clerk, would you kindly read the opening statement, please?
This is to inform the general public that this meeting is being held in compliance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. A notice of this meeting was mailed to the Star Ledger and the West Orange Chronicle on December 1st, 2014. A notice of this meeting was also posted on the bulletin board in the Municipal Building, West Orange, and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk of the Township of West Orange on December 1st, 2014. Councilman Cirillo?
Present.
Councilman Krakowiak?
Present.
Councilwoman Spango?
Present.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Present.
Council President Garino?
Present.
Mayor Parisi.
Tonight we have two special presentations to make tonight to one fantastic and wonderful individual. And I would like to have Mayor Parisi make his presentation.
Thank you, Council President. Appreciate the opportunity to go first. Thank you. It is always sad, I think we would all admit, when people retire, that we're happy for them to pursue their next chapter in life. We all work so closely together, so every time a member of our town employee family decides to move on, it's kind of sad for all of us. Especially in this case with Joanne, besides having the privilege of working with her as a member of the council for a long time, going back to the 90s. We grew up in the same neighborhood together. The Stacy family was a prominent family in my neighborhood growing up. Life has taken them all in different directions, but Joanne was the last tie to this community from the Stacy family, and we're going to miss working with her a lot. I think the most important thing, and certainly Sue was around long enough to remember, besides being a dedicated employee, when there was turnover in the clerk's office and some ups and downs over the years, Joanne stepped up and really kept things moving and kept government moving. As we all know, the clerk's office, though underrated, Karen, is a very important part of how government works, and Joanne was here a long time and kept government working, even though there was times where things weren't as good as we had hoped they'd be. So she was important to that. And I won't read the whole proclamation, Joanne, except the most important part that talks about how her cheerful nature and smile will be missed by all that work with her. So Joanne, on behalf of the administration, on behalf of the community, it is with sadness that we see you leave, but we wish you the best of luck. And it is my pleasure on behalf of the community to recognize your dedication to this community, commemorate your retirement, and to proclaim that June 1st, 2015 will be known as Joanne Bear Day throughout the community of West Orange. Thank you so much.
Thank you. She can wait till after I go. She can go now. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Mayor Parisi. Now it's my turn.
Don't forget the flowers.
Okay. How can I miss the mayor's comments? But Joanne, all I can say is from even before I was elected a council person, when I used to come to town hall, I just always see your wonderful smile, always there to help the residents, always helped me. And when I was finally elected to the Township Council, I can never thank you enough for educating me, for being there for me for my questions, sometimes long, sometimes short. And now I'm not going to have anybody when I call. Nobody's going to know it's Jerry calling. But we thank you. You have a long history, you and your husband, in the community of West Orange, and we're grateful for that. Mountain High graduates, Montclair State. You went from a temporary town, municipal clerk to a permanent employee. You were appointed deputy municipal clerk in 1999, went on to do other things. And you have two wonderful children, Kathy and Rick, and they're very fortunate to have a mom like you. And we thank your family for sharing Joanne with us for over all these years. And I'm not going to, you're not going to be able to, read the whole thing, because then you'll be here, you'll miss the Ranger game. So, but I just want to say on behalf of all my colleagues of the Township Council, the Township of West Orange, we thank you, Joanne. You always have a home here. You're always welcome to come say hello or everything, but I personally thank you, and thank you for making my job a lot easier. And the residents and the citizens of West Orange were beneficial of having you as a servant. And they're going to miss you. And we thank you and love you for that, Joanne. The rest of the council members too? And the mayor? Councilman? Well, want to get the crew. And the family, right? Want to get your family too. I got the ball, right? We can do it with the council.
So we can get your family.
Yeah, we get your family up there too.
Come up here.
Come on up here.
Let's go.
He's on Facebook.
So this can get a shot.
All right.
Thank you.
All right.
I think that should work.
Okay.
I'll cut it.
We'd like to read the proclamation now from the Township Council. The Township Council of the Township of West Orange is proud to honor Joanne Barr on the occasion of retirement as Deputy Municipal Clerk. Joanne is the youngest daughter of Joe and Kathleen Stacy, who are well-known business owners of Stacy's Menswear on Main Street for over 20 years. She was born and raised in West Orange, graduating from Mountain High School in 1983. She continued her education at Montclair State College, graduating in 1988. In 1989, Joanne was hired by the Township of West Orange in a temporary position as a secretary in a municipal clerk's office. She became a permanent employee in March of 1990. She was appointed to the position of Deputy Municipal Clerk in 1999, working under the direction of Nancy O'Hara. In 2008, she officiated the council inauguration in the clerk's absence. In 2009, she welcomed Karen Carnevale as municipal clerk and has worked hand in hand with her ever since. Joanne attributes her strong work ethic to her parents. She has dedicated 25 years of faithful and dedicated service to the West Orange community. Joanne is now looking forward to devoting her time to her husband Ricky and her two children, Carly, and Ricky Jr. The Township Council does hereby express their sincere and profound appreciation and extends their heartfelt wishes for good health and much happiness in the years to come. Thank you, Joanne. And please. And now, Joanne, if you'd like to make a few words to the community and to your... You're very welcome.
I would like to thank the mayor and council for this honor. It has been my pleasure to serve as deputy clerk in the town where I was raised. I would like to thank my husband Ricky for his support and thank my children Carly and Ricky for their patience over the years. I think they are so happy that Mom is retiring. Karen Carnevale, thank you. I could not have asked for a better boss. Maddie Longo, I could not have asked for a better coworker. Patty DeFinis, I could not have asked for a better team player when you were in our office. So happy that my father-in-law, my sisters, and aunts and uncles are here to share in this joy with me tonight. Thank you.
Okay, you want to cut the cake?
Cupcake.
Good,
Joanne
cut the
cuts the
cake.
cake. Joanne, like a birthday. Make a wish.
Joanne, thank
I think
you.
a wish
Thank-
has just come true.
Joanne, thank you for your kind words. You know, and we appreciate it. You've made our lives a lot easier. So, and we thank you.
It's been great.
Yeah, you can help at the street fair on June 6th. So just cut the tape and go. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Okay, that was a nice way to thank our deputy municipal clerk for her service. And thank you again, Joanne. And we look forward to. You don't have to leave if you don't want to, but you know.
She's been here before. She knows.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you to her family and friends for coming. Thank you.
Bye, good seeing you. All right, see you tomorrow.
When is she leaving? June 1st?
Friday.
So
Yeah.
that's
Good night.
Thank you all. Thank you for coming.
It's fine. I'll wrap it all up. Thanks, Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie, for your help. Thank you. Okay. That was a nice way to send off our Joanne Barr, our deputy municipal clerk, and I know the whole township appreciates her many years of service to the township. So moving right along, we now have council liaison presentations. Councilman Cirillo.
Thank you, Council President. The window replacement project has gone out to bid. We awarded a contract at the last meeting, so construction or the replacement is scheduled to begin in June. Thank you to leadership, Debbie Salinardi, the director, and the chairman, Frank Capron. Also, Matt Scola, Terry Cunningham, who served on that committee, to find the best qualified contractor. So our residents should be excited that they're going to get a new look, new windows, very nice windows. So
That's great.
that happened at our meeting of last week, last Thursday. So that's all. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Krokoviac.
Nothing for me. Thank you.
Councilwoman Spango.
Nothing, thank you.
Councilwoman McCartney.
Okay. So first I want to say thank you to the Memorial Day Service Committee yesterday. It was a beautiful ceremony.
Yeah.
And what was very touching, I thought, was having our ROTC program, our Air Force ROTC program, walk with the veterans over to the Memorial Garden. It was a little different. We have an outstanding singer, Lynette Sheard. It was just a very nice ceremony.
It was very moving.
Nice, very
really.
nice. So, thank you to the committee. This ties into open space, though it happened, the Open Space Commission bought 6 acres up on Mount Pleasant Avenue, I don't know when, a couple years back, maybe a year or so. And the West Orange Environmental Commission submitted an application for a grant to ANJAC. ANJAC stands for the Association of New Jersey Environmental Commissions. Thank you, Robert. And part of that, there are 6 acres up there that the Environmental Commission working with the Open Space Commission and our town forester, Department of Public Works, we want to create an arboretum up there. And the grant, and we also are registered with the National Wildlife Federation to create to plant milkweed to create a butterfly garden because the monarch population has been decreased so much because of pesticides in the soil. So we're going to put milkweed up there as well. And we're working with gardeners, Llewellyn Park Women's Club, and other people in town. We're looking for people to come out and help to plant these seeds. They're really, really difficult to get because it really is a campaign to find milkweed. I have Metropolitan Plant Exchange and Pleasantdale Nursery, and there's a fairly new florist on Northfield Avenue, Nation of Pollen, also helping to try to get these milkweed seeds and plants. So the grant that we were just awarded, the township was just awarded this grant, will go to the landscape architect to create this plan on the 6 acres. So that's exciting. And also with the Chamber of Commerce, about 2 years ago, the Chamber of Commerce, with the help of the West Orange Chronicle, put out a directory. It was chock full of information of all different businesses and events and programming organizations in town. And this year we're doing a new one. So if anyone would like to submit a listing, something that you think is fun and exciting that needs to be in that directory, this is a town-wide mailing. Please contact the Chamber at westorangechamber.com, all spelled out, and send us your information. One more.
Okay.
I guess it was last July we started another campaign, and that was trying to get voting out of our public schools. Our tax dollars have gone, extensive tax dollars have gone into meeting the mandates of Homeland Security, and then we're all vulnerable on Election Day. So what has happened so far is that people, I'm sorry I don't know the districts, but they're on this list, but the font is too small. Anyone that votes at the high school, there is no voting at the high school this year, and also Redwood Avenue School.
410, 411.
There you go. 410, 411.
410, 411, and forget the other one.
So we've expanded.
49, I think. Sorry.
Yeah, right. We've expanded voting at Wilshire Grand. B'nai Shalom, 300 Pleasant Valley Way, will resume as an alternate voting site. So please check your ballots. Will be going out. The primary is next Tuesday. Anyone voting, Patty could read off those districts. Anyone voting in those districts, please check your sample ballot to where you would be voting. Thank you. Or you can call the clerk's office.
Sure.
973-325-4155.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Thank you very much. Just a last note, too, for the street fair coming up on June 6th. It's going to be fantastic. Lots of vendors, lots of food. The Thomas Edison National Park site, a great thing to go visit. There'll be free admission to that as well. And we need volunteers. So for those of you in the community who'd like to get involved, all we ask to do is go to our Downtown Alliance website, which is at www.downtownwo.com. And it'll bring up the volunteer form, and we'd appreciate any help. An hour here, an hour there. We'll be really grateful to you, and you'll get to meet some new people. So that's all I have to say, and that will end our conference agenda meeting. Good evening, West Orange, and welcome to our Township Council meeting for May 26th. Thank you for being here. Madam Clerk, would you read the opening statement, please?
This is to inform the general public that this meeting is being held in compliance with Section 5 of the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Law 1975. A notice of this meeting was mailed to the Star Ledger and the West Orange Chronicle on December 1st, 2014. A notice of this meeting was also posted on the bulletin board in the Municipal Building, West Orange, and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk of the Township of West Orange on December 1st, 2014. Councilman Cirillo?
Present.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Present.
Councilwoman Spango?
Present.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Present.
Council President Garino.
Present.
Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? The council is now in their public meeting.
Thank you, Madam Clerk, my colleagues. If anyone wishes to speak to the Township Council, make a presentation, please raise your hand and I'll pick you and you may come up. Mr. McElroy? Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is John McElroy. I own a business in the downtown district, Select Auto Truck Repair on Washington Street. And I'm the chairman of the Downtown Alliance. And I'd like to add on to what Council President mentioned about our street fair on June 6th. We're very excited. We have a lot of new things going on this year. We have over 100 vendors already registered. We have a car show right on Main Street. We have a concert in the evening, so it's dinner and a concert after the vendors wrap up and go. But I think one of the things we're most proud of this year is the unprecedented participation by the downtown businesses. There are a lot of them are coming out. They're going to make themselves available to the public, which I think is a great thing. I think it's what we're here for. It's what we're charged with doing. So it's starting to work. And for our organizations, that's one of the most important parts of this. But it is in general going to be a great time, a great day. We're trying to make this a signature event in West Orange, and we'd like to see all the residents come out and have a blast. I also, the Public Relations Commission has an event there too. I'll defer to our Public Information Officer to expound on that. But I'd like to see everybody come out on June 6th. It'll be a great time. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you. Good evening, Susan.
Good evening. I'm Susan Anderson. I'm the Public Information Officer for the town. And the Public Relations Committee and myself will be on hand to hand out information on the day of the street fair. We'll be accompanied by most of the departments in town. We'll be able to hand out lots and lots of information on municipal services and all the things that West Orange has to offer, from how to navigate the clerk's office to purchasing buildings, and also several committees, Human Relations Committee and other committees will also be on hand that day. So if you're looking for information, you can find it at the street fair. It's going to be a great day, a lovely event. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. Is there anyone else wishing? Mrs. Morelli, good evening.
Rosary Morelli, Ralph Road. I would just like to say, and I spoke to the mayor before the meeting, that we're both getting really old when people like Joanne are retiring. And we're still here. And the same thing happened with Ed Coleman, so I wonder. Anyway, I thank God that I'm still here. I came prepared to discuss the issue of the senior bus out of the township. And, seniors are very astute. And probably about a half hour before I was ready to leave, I got a call from one of the seniors in the rent house. And she said, "Are you aware that there is a program in the town whereby seniors and disabled people can be transported out of the township?" I said, "No." And she said, "It's as a result of a letter from the mayor." And I confirmed that with him earlier. So I think we have a problem with how this program has been administered. I don't know where this lies. My thought is it could possibly be with the dispatcher. But this is senior citizen handicapped transportation. The use of a minibus is limited to senior citizens of West Orange, 60 years of age or older. Services are offered in accordance with the following priorities: medical transportation to doctor, dentist, clinic, or hospital, shopping to local stores, shopping plazas, nutrition site, personal visit to friend's establishment or a club meeting, out-of-town transportation by special arrangement. So this has been around for a while. In fact, Karen, maybe if you can make a copy of this. Sure. Pick up and return of passengers curb to curb. Our services are also available to disabled persons. If you cannot walk, transportation will be provided using our handicapped van. Now this is interesting too. Reservations for pickup should be made with the dispatcher, not the driver, 3 to 4 days in advance. I'd like to see a caveat added to this in cases where, and it happens, go to a doctor who recommends a follow-up MRI or whatever within the next couple of days. This should be waived. I had, in fact, Jack's not here, but I had a call from a senior a couple of years ago where she was denied a ride because she had to reserve 4 days ahead of time. Transportation is available to St. Barnabas Medical Center and St. Barnabas Ambulatory Center. Now, my understanding through the years has been that it's only been for people going for dialysis or chemo. This doesn't state that. So I know a couple of women in town who go for mammography. One of them is a cancer in remission. She has to go for mammography every year. And she needs a ride. She doesn't drive. She has no family. She could have been using this. She has friends driving her. This is really angering me, I have to tell you. And due to prior stops, you should allow a leeway of 15 minutes for pickup and I'm reading this because I want the seniors out there to know what their rights are. 15 minutes for pickup at your home and a maximum of 30 minutes for pickup for your return trip home. Now, there is Access Link, and as Anthony said, the county does provide. In fact, some of these services are subsidized or grants from the county. The problem with going with an outside transport is, and I've seen this having waited with my husband and watched people waiting for a ride, when you go with these other services, they travel around the county and they can come and pick you up maybe 2 to 3 hours after your visit's finished. That doesn't happen with the town bus. It's inhumane to see somebody who's suffering sitting there waiting for 3 hours to be picked up. So this actually means that shouldn't be happening. Okay. Due to prior stops, 30 minutes. They're saying 30 minutes. I've seen people, witness 3 people waiting 3 hours. So, Karen, maybe you can make copies of this. As I said, I spoke to the mayor just before the meeting, and as I told you at the last meeting, people did speak to him, and there was a letter that went out. The other thing I wanted to talk about, but I don't think I have enough time, was the job performance evaluations. I'll save that for you for my next meeting. How's that sound? Can you wait?
30 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Morelli. Anyone else would like to speak to the council, make a presentation? Mr. Puglisi, good evening, sir.
Hi, Anthony Puglisi representing County Executive Joe DiVincenzo. Once again, just want to remind everybody about the open house at Turtleback Zoo, which is this Saturday, May 30th, from 10 until 2. It's free admission to the zoo, and actually if you come after the event, the zoo is open until 4:30 that day, so it's free admission all day long.
What day?
Again, just like the street fair that you're having, we'll have a lot of information about county services and offices, and we'll try to create a carnival-like atmosphere with games. We have a dunk tank that's going to be there. I don't know if the county executive himself is going to sit in it, but we'll have things like that to make the day a little more fun while learning about county
What's
government.
the date, Anthony?
Saturday, May 30th,
Oh, this Saturday.
10 till 2.
10 to 2 and open till 4:30?
Yes.
Okay. No advance registration in?
Nope. Just
Thank
show
you.
up. Thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. Is there anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing none, I close public comment. I open the floor to my council colleagues. Councilman Cirillo?
Thank you, Council President. John McElroy, thank you for being here. We want to see everyone June 6th for the Downtown Alliance Street Fair. I'm excited about it. We were hoping to have slide the city in. We're still working on that. Hopefully it works out. If not, we'll definitely do it some other time. However, it's going to be an opportunity for the whole family to come out and enjoy all these different activities, different organizations that are going to be out there on behalf of the municipality. Rosary, thank you for that flyer. Appreciate that information. It's kind of enlightening because I wasn't aware of the requirements and the fact that we provide the level to that extent. So that's news to me as well. So thank you for that. Other than that, one more thing, Council President. The West Orange Hispanic Foundation is having its next meeting on the 5th, the day before the street fair. It'll be. I'll post some information on my Facebook page for anyone that needs information. It's an excellent opportunity for anyone of Hispanic descent to network to network with other members of the community. So that is on the 5th, and I'll have more information available. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Kukoviac.
Thank you, Council President. Just want to say thank you to everyone who came up and spread the news about upcoming recreational activities here in town. And I also want to give a special salute to Ms. Morelli, who I think helped and is going to help a lot of seniors here in town. And just, again, want to thank her for her continuing service to the seniors in West Orange.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Spangam.
Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Morelli. I did get in touch with, been going back and forth with Mr. Gross about the senior busing, and he was looking into it, and he did just recently, today, got back to me that that service was available. He wasn't sure, and I was going to report that to you, but you, doing your homework as well as you do, you said, and I agree with you that it shouldn't be 4 days ahead, because many times you could go to a doctor and they might want blood work done within a certain time frame, and maybe you can't wait 4 days to do that. So maybe we can somehow clean that up and so that it's not a problem. But thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman McCartney.
Rosary, thank you for raising awareness that it is important. Our public information officer, I'm sorry, just left, but we will certainly get that word out. And I mentioned at the start of our meeting about this townwide directory. There is a portion in there from each department, and if that's under the health, I'm sure that's under the health department, we can put that information that you just circulated out there for everyone to know. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Oh, one more.
No,
I'm sorry. About the street fair, that this particular day, the first day of Saturday, has always been Edison Day. So the street fair, we're really piggybacking with Edison Day. The museum is free. There will be a shuttle that takes you up and down Main Street. It's just hopefully a beautiful day. It has been. Last year it was also, so we're hoping that it is a beautiful day. And a lot of fun.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Ms. Morelli, I can say I just concur with my associates and to thank you for bringing that to our attention. We have to look after our seniors, and waiting time to get tests done, that's not acceptable. So we need to work with that. So thank you for bringing that to our attention. Mr. McElroy, so thank you for bringing about the street fair. It's going to be a fantastic time. And I can't say it enough about the Edison National Park. People who live in this township have never been there. You need to go there to see a great exhibit, things you've never thought you'd see before. And it's well maintained, and the Park Service staff and the superintendent are fantastic people, and you'll get a great education. It's a great learning environment. So be there. And also, please sign up and volunteer. We need all the help we can get. So, Madam Clerk, we'd like to move on to the consent agenda.
Okay. Approval of meeting minutes from a previous meeting, public meeting May 12, 2015.
Consent.
Report of township officers, none. Reading of petitions and communications and bids, none. Bills. Are there any questions on the bills?
Consent.
Resolutions. Are any resolutions being pulled this evening?
Councilman Cirillo?
No resolutions, Council President.
Okay. Councilman Kukoviac?
Thank you, Council President. I don't want to pull any, but I did have a question about Resolution 141. It's the resolution awarding a professional service contract to Crew Engineers. I noticed Mr. Lepore, our town engineer, is here, and I just wondered at the appropriate point, just wanted to ask him just a quick question or two about the contract.
Absolutely, Councilman. Mr. Lepore, good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Lepore. I just wanted to ask a question about, more specifically, there's a large number of streets that are going to be covered by the contract that we're planning to make improvements on. I think it's maybe 20, 24 streets, something like that?
23 streets were specifically listed.
I just wanted to get a better feel for which one of these, or if you know at this point, which one of these projects are going to involve sidewalks. I noticed in the resolution, or in your letter resolutions, you were saying that some of the streets may need sidewalks. In the actual list of the projects and what you were doing, none of them listed sidewalks. So I'm just wondered if you could say at this point about the sidewalks, and as people who have been coming here know, I'm not particularly thrilled with doing everybody's sidewalks if they're not absolutely necessary,
God bless.
because it restricts how many other streets we can provide curbing and resurfacing on. So I just wanted to get a better feel for that.
Out of all the streets, just so everybody knows, virtually all, with a few exceptions, will have new curb, new granite block curb. And then when we do the new granite block curb, that affects residents and commercial properties, driveway openings and driveway aprons. So certainly we restore, reconstruct their driveway opening. Usually if there's concrete sidewalk there, we'll make a new concrete walk through the driveway to adjust it to the new curb, as well as a new concrete apron. And then there may be a slab or a few slabs on each side of the concrete driveway that are adjusted so that everything matches up based on the new curb construction. Aside from that, the only other place where walks will be constructed will be new handicapped ramps at intersections that aren't currently code compliant. That's concrete walk, and then sometimes there's walk several feet in each direction from that handicap ramp that needs to be reconstructed. So the plan is not to make all new sidewalk improvements on any of these streets.
Great. That's news to my music to my ears. News and music to my ears. So thank you for that. That's all the questions I have.
I have a question.
Okay, Councilwoman Spango. For Mr. Lepore?
Yeah, because it says here in the resolution, I was going to ask that, and you don't have to tell me now, but I'd like to know what they are. It says a list of streets and improvements that was enclosed with the proposal is attached. We don't have them.
There was a
I'm sorry?
I had asked for it in my email, but it was very late tonight. It was late, very late today.
Okay. Okay.
Councilwoman McCartney?
let me go back.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Council President, I did not want to pull Resolution 142-15, but I have a question. John?
142-15?
142-14 is a resolution awarding the contract for the private collection of municipal court debt. Do you have an idea of how much is collected through that municipal court debt?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I did send out, we did send out this afternoon an analysis. I mean, it is not a huge number, but it is substantial.
Right.
Substantial.
Oh, look, I didn't see it. Thank you.
If you want the numbers, I've got my spreadsheet here.
Okay, I didn't see it.
I got 3 different types of numbers. I got the total number of cases referred for collection, 1,256 since late 2012. The total recoveries were from those a little less than $18,000, and the commissions paid to the collection agency through that were a little over $2,400.
Something. Thank you. That was it. Thank you.
I have nothing. Madam Clerk?
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The consent agenda is implemented. Ordinances on second and final reading, 2449-15, an ordinance creating Chapter 2, Section 61 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of West Orange entitled Pedestrian Safety Advisory Board. Is there a motion to introduce on second and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes. Is there anyone from the general public wishing to speak about ordinance 2449-15? Seeing none, I close public comment. Any comments by my colleagues? Okay. I just like to say one thing. This ordinance is very dear and to me, and it's something I worked very hard on to the benefit of the community, and my colleagues have too. And working along with Councilwoman McCartney on the traffic and safety, we're just trying to make West Orange a little more safer for all our pedestrians, and I'm very, very happy to see this ordinance pass. Thank you. Madam Clerk?
Council President, if I could just, one more thing. I got a request from a resident who lives in the area who suggested that it might be a good idea to add into the ordinance that there be a representative from Kessler there. As you know, Kessler has a substantial frontage on Pleasant Valley Way and also has a stoplight in front of their building. And I know there's a lot of people on it already, but I think it makes a lot of sense if I don't want to waste time if there's no feeling on the council, but I wanted to throw that out because I thought it was a good idea.
No, not that there isn't, Councilman, but the thing is, there will be changes to it as we go along, as it nurtures, there'll be changes. And we can make changes as we go along to this ordinance. And thank you for your input, because the same resident spoke to me as well. So she got around.
Well, I also think that if there is an issue, these are open public meetings.
Right.
So there is an issue, notices can be sent out, and anyone from Kessler, of course, would be welcome to attend.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Good point.
Madam Clerk?
Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 2449-15?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Ordinance 2450-15, bond ordinance authorizing various capital improvements in and for the Township of West Orange in the County of Essex, New Jersey, appropriating $6,298,200, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $5,998,280 bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof. Is there a motion to introduce on second and final reading?
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Garino? I'm sorry, Councilman Krokoviac? I
Yes.
apologize.
It's okay.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes. Is there anyone from the general public wishing to speak on ordinance 2450-15? Yes, Clint. Good evening.
Good evening, Claire Silvestri, 20 Grandview Avenue. I think this is probably the appropriate time to ask again about the sound system. I know that this is the capital budget for the year, and I didn't see from what was posted on the website any mention of anything to do with the sound system. And I want to thank everyone for speaking into the microphones on a regular basis, but I think also we're hearing the air conditioning coming on now. That's an issue, and also I believe that there are still issues with not having enough microphones, especially for planning and zoning board meetings. So I would like to ask if that has been incorporated into the capital budget, and if not, what follow-up on the sound system is going on. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to be heard in this ordinance? Seeing none, I close public comment. I open it to my colleagues. Councilman Cirillo?
Yes, just a quick question to the administration. The site at the corner of Dogwood and Northfield, is that something that's going to go through capital improvement bonding, or is that being handled separately? The property at the corner of Dogwood Road and Northfield Avenue, those.
That's a zoning board?
Substation.
Yes.
Sewer
yeah,
substation.
Right. What's the status of that? And is that something that's going to be?
It's a pump station, and that's the pump station.
We have previous capital for that.
Okay.
Hopefully, we have enough, so.
Okay, so there is previous capital. Okay, very good, yeah, because, I did see some comparable initiatives here, so I didn't know if that's something that should be added or what the status was. That's all I have, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Cirillo. Councilman Krokoviac?
Yes, I would like to hear from the administration. I know that I had asked for a more detailed listing of all of the capital projects that were involved in this ordinance, this borrowing ordinance. but I did not see a specific reference to the sound system here for the council chambers. And I also wanted to ask whether the plans for the library refacing are also involved in here. And then I have a bunch of other questions as well, but just, if we could just start with these two questions, that would be most appreciated.
Mr. Sayers, Mr. Gross?
Yeah, I'll take those in reverse. The improvements for the library are not included in this as of now. We've begun some discussion with the library trustees about moving forward, and we expect to have something before council on that shortly. As far as the sound system is concerned, I think as we spoke last time, we have done some tweaking of the system. I think that for the most part, as far as the volume is concerned, we're satisfied that we're probably as best without a major investment in a brand new sound system. We're at the best we could do. We understand that there's an issue now, particularly obviously when the air conditionings come on. I'm not sure that any sound system is going to be able to deal with that. That's more of an issue of the quite frankly the air conditioning system. We will be purchasing some additional microphones that we have money for from previous capital. One thing that was brought up at a previous meeting as well was that there was potentially some quality issues as far as going out over the television. We have checked with the Board of Education, who we have to go through in order to, our tapes or our recordings, not tapes, our recordings go to them. The recordings are clear. To the extent that they're having issues, we've asked them to look at that and investigate that through. They have two different. They have Verizon and Comcast, I guess, that is delivering. So there may be some issues with them as far as technically, but that's out of our hands. That's not something that we have control of. So I think so I guess to hopefully bring this to a somewhat of a close. We think that we've made significant improvements. And we'll continue to do so if as needed. And again, we're going to be purchasing some new microphones.
Okay, thank you, sir. Councilman Kukovic.
I just want to respond to some of the things that were said. You had, if I understand correctly, the administration's been looking at this issue for about 5 or 6 months. You raised the issue about you're not sure if any improvements that we make could address the problem we have right now with the air conditioning on. Does that mean that when you previously said that you were bringing in people to consult with them about building the system, that they weren't able to tell you about the air conditioning, or do you not ask them about it?
What I'm suggesting is that if we hear right up here, we hear everything very well, and we're hearing the air conditioning. That's a lot of competition. In order to eliminate the sound of the air conditioning, microphones are not going to do that. Microphones, that we're going to be able to. We're now fighting with that noise. That's a major investment in terms of doing something with the air conditioning systems in order to eliminate that noise. Having said that, again, we will continue as we go along to try to tweak the system. Again, we're trying not to invest into a major cost for a new sound system. Obviously, if council feels that we need to invest in a major sound system, I'll be happy to address that. So.
Right. But the sound system is not part of this.
It is not.
It's not. So we shouldn't be discussing.
That was the question. Yeah, that's
okay. Then it's not. This is not the time for that in the question.
Well, then I would argue that it should be the time to think about it. If we're thinking about putting in a capital budget, if the rest of the council believes, as I do, that we do need a new sound system, then now probably is the time to be talking about this. Just so you know, I had asked previously about all of the cosmetic improvements in the council chambers that have been taking place over the last 6 months. We spent, I think, close to, or maybe even more than $25,000 for the new dais and the new top and painting and all of this stuff, which doesn't contribute at all to the sound quality in the council chambers. And my understanding from previous comments by the administration is that we were on the way to finding a solution to this which required a new sound system. So now I'm being told that we're going to get some microphones. I think that's a huge help, particularly when we have the planning and zoning boards, when the members, half of them don't have microphones. And I think it does not contribute well to the electronic record here. But I do think that now is the time to be, if we're not going to, if the administration is not going to allocate money for a sound system, then I think we, as the council, should say, if we do believe that we need a new sound system here, that we should put it in this budget and put it in this ordinance. We should amend the ordinance. The last I heard from the administration is that they thought the cost of a new sound system was going to be about $15,000. And I think that's really minimal for the benefit that it would bring not only to people here in the council chambers for all of these meetings, but also in the recordings that get sent out over public access TV and up on the town website. So I think now is the time to actually to do that.
Just to be clear, to the extent that we've priced out sound systems, again, as I said before, we do not believe that the replacement of spending $15,000 on a sound system is going to solve the competition between voices here and the air conditioning system. So to the extent, and for the most part, we believe that the volume now has gone to the point, for the most part, that there's very few places within the room that you cannot hear if everybody speaks into the microphone. So, you know, to go further than that, we think that the expenses will be dramatic. We would have to do work on the air conditioning system, not on the sound system, in order to solve that problem.
Yes, Councilman.
Yeah,
I'll just point out that the problems that were being reported here for the last 6 months were well before we needed an air conditioning system in here. And the air conditioning isn't used for probably a majority of the year. So I think just saying that we have to fix the air conditioning may be part of the solution, but it's not the total part of the solution, because it doesn't fix the problem that's been reported here by multiple people over the last several months.
Council
Yes, Councilman.
I just want to add, if you look at item A under improvements, the category is not as clear. So if there's a need for a sound equipment down the road, perhaps that would be the place where it could be procured out of. Mr. Gross's acquisition of various equipment, including but not limited to. Right. So there is some wiggle room there. Should we decide as a group to move forward in that direction. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman. Okay. Your next question, Councilman?
Again, I would just like to invite my council colleagues, again, if there's no support for this, that's fine, but I think now is the time that we should be moving on this. I wanted to ask some other questions, because we're planning to borrow roughly $6 million, a little less than that, and I just want to make sure that the money that we borrow is something that we as the council have thought about. We've got several entries here in the list of projects that have no specific use. We have $200,000 for equipment upgrades that are unspecified. We have another $200,000 for indoor facility improvements that is not specified. We have $400,000 for outdoor facility improvements that are not specified, and I'm a little uncomfortable with basically approving about 15% of this capital budget without knowing exactly what the money is going to be used for. You may recall in previous years that we spent a great deal of time, and Mr. Gross receives the credit for this, of going back through and finding all of the capital accommodations, and in some cases borrowings that we never spent, but we're paying interest on for a long time, which amounted to, I think, substantial money. And I just feel like if we can't specify what we want to use the projects for now, we should not borrow the money.
Council President.
Go ahead. I was going to say, but go ahead. Please. Councilwoman McCartney.
What I was going to say is that when the township decides to procure these items, they come before the council officially. So these are just very rough estimates. It doesn't mean that all these items will be procured. It just means that later on we'll make the determination based on the local public contracts law on how this will be procured. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. And number two, I don't think that we are fiscally irresponsible where money just sits there and we're paying interest on it. It's used. Should there be additional funds? You know, there are capital needs all over that we have as a municipality. This is a big town. So the point is that this will come before us when we can be a little bit more diligent and more specific and decide whether it's in our best interest.
Correct. And I'd like to concur with you, Councilman. The fact of the matter is it gives them the flexibility. It doesn't lock them into a particular item or a particular project. Right. They still have to come before the council in order to do the project and to spend the money. So I feel comfortable. We have responsible people, and we're doing our due diligence and watching how the taxpayer dollars are spent. But then again, it gives them the flexibility. They can move from one thing that comes from one time instead of locking them into a project that may be able to put off to the side and do something else. So, you know, I concur with my colleague. Anyone else to make a comment? Councilman Krobiak?
Thank you. I just have several other questions. It lists on the capital projects $25,000 for a police building air conditioning, and then it also says in the notes, replace with roof upgrade. And I wondered if the administration could explain about that, because it looks like it's a new air conditioning system, but then it says replace with roof upgrade. Is that a reference to the air conditioning on the top of the...
It's a time. It's just it's time. The roof was approved in last year's capital. We're getting ready to move forward with that. We want to do this at the same time.
So it is going to be to replace the air conditioning, I guess not the
rooftop units.
Right. It's going to replace the compressor on the rooftop.
Well, to what extent? I'm not the technical guy on that, but in terms of the HVAC units.
But it's a combination of the two. It's not just the air conditioning. It's also to replace part of the roof.
No. The roof is a separate line item. The roof on the police department is a $200,000 item. While we're there, we want to replace this HVAC because it's much more effective and efficient to do it at the same time than to try to do them at different times.
Okay. There's an item here for the Department of Public Works, $40,000 for a server. I'm just blown away. $40,000 for a server is a lot of money. What's so special about this server?
It's server and the software. Basically, in order to link our buildings together, there is additional equipment. It's not just the server; it's a complete server as well as the equipment necessary to link our buildings together. So, and I quite frankly hope to come in less than that myself, but.
I wondered if Mr. Lepore is still here. There's $50,000. There's $50,000 in the capital budget for this Main Street bump out, and I think, given the fact that it's a substantial sum of money, and also that Mr. Lepore is here to explain it, and also it's going to change a great deal of the traffic flow on the north side of downtown. Maybe you could just explain to people what might be coming, please.
Thank you, Mr. Lepore.
Good evening again. This project, I think as the name described, is a curb bump out to be located on the westerly side of Main Street, opposite Harrison Avenue. That's in the Lord section where Eagle Rock Avenue and Main Street come together. And the purpose of this is to, a couple of reasons. One, to discourage anybody from parking in front of that commercial building that has Domino's on one end and Duomici on the other. Also, by moving the curb out, it's going to help seniors when leaving the Degnan House to see around the corner or the curve in the roadway and sometimes an occasional parked car. We don't expect any cars to be parked there anymore, but right now there's difficulty seeing traffic coming down Eagle Rock Avenue and around that curve as they're exiting the Degnan House. So this will do two things: eliminate the parking and give seniors a little more area to nudge out and to see traffic coming from Eagle Rock Avenue on the Main Street. In conjunction with this, there'll be a change of the traffic signal for Eagle Rock Avenue eastbound traffic at Main Street. What we're going to do is we're going to restore the left turn arrow and have an exclusive left turn lane at that intersection. So only the right lane or the curb lane will be for through movements. There simply isn't enough room once we bump out the curb to allow those two lanes to merge together. So we'll restore, well, actually not restore, we're going to put in a lead green, but now have an exclusive left turn lane.
So recognizing that that intersection has probably been something approaching a nightmare for you ever since you've been serving our township, I'm just thinking of all of the complications from that the two lanes coming down from Eagle Rock Avenue, coming down Eagle Rock Avenue, you've got to be in the right lane if you want to go forward, and then if you're in that right lane heading on to Main Street, you're going to have to make a rather sharp move from the right lane to the middle lane in a short amount of time. Is that what we're?
It's not going to be sharp. It'll be designed with a proper taper so that they can that vehicle along the curb is just going to follow the curb lane as it moves a bit more towards the center of the roadway. But what is also planned is as vehicles are heading down the hill on Eagle Rock Avenue, so long before the intersection, before you start making the curves by the Board of Education building, Administration building, and by Our Lady of Lourdes, is to actually bring the two eastbound lanes, merge them into one lane, and then as they get near the signalized intersection, create the left turn slot for them.
I'm just thinking about one of the complications and that customers won't be able to park there in order to patronize those locations there.
They shouldn't be parking there. It's prohibited at that
Oh,
location.
it is prohibited?
It is prohibited.
Yeah.
And this is going to be...
Because there is always cars parked there.
Well, that's
There's a parking lot they're
lot.
supposed to be in.
There's a parking lot there.
Yeah, but the parking lot there is not for general use. Isn't that entire parking lot for the Degnan House?
Well, there's the
No.
Degnan House parking, and then on the other side of the building, there's the parking for the commercial building.
Right.
On the north side of the building, next to Duamici Restaurant, there's a parking
Oh,
facility.
okay.
And there's also the Quigley parking lot also.
Right. But, so you're saying that I've lived in town for 12 years, and I don't think I've ever come down there earlier than midnight, and there hadn't been multiple cars parked on the west side of Main Street? And it's illegal to park there?
Just in that location. Once you get by the Elks building, then parking is allowed in that location. But in front of that commercial building, it's no parking. Actually, it's even no stopping or standing.
Wow. Are there any other complications that you're concerned about?
Not that I see here that haven't been addressed.
Okay. Great. Thank you. If you could just stay just for another second, unless anybody else had any comments. I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to say thank you on that because for over how many years now, there have been numerous complaints from Degnan residents about that sightline. So I'm glad you're tackling that right now.
It's a good tackle.
There's a $300,000 in the budget in the capital budget for remediation of town properties. Can you talk just briefly about that? I'm astounded at $300,000, but I'm hoping that's going to take care of the 4 locations.
Well, it'll be part of what's used for the 4 locations, and unfortunately, none of this remediation work is inexpensive. I know we've discussed just Fred's Exxon at the corner of Valley Road and Mitchell Street, running up of close to $400,000 for a piece of property that's barely 65 by 100. So. What I'm looking for here is to continue remediation at the Public Works Building at Lakeside Avenue in 3 other locations, Fire Headquarters, Firehouse Number 4 on Pleasant Valley Way, and the old Public Works Garage site on Lindsley Avenue. This is all from leaking underground storage tanks for either gasoline, diesel, or heating oil.
But this may not be it. And I know we've already spent a great deal of money already.
It may not be it. Hopefully, we're getting near the end, but this may not quite be it.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lepore.
I just had another question that we're proposing to spend $250,000, and I'm not clear whether it's to replace 2 ambulances or to just remount and refurbish them?
It would be to remount and
Remount,
refurbish.
So we're not getting new ambulances?
The cabs themselves will remain. So the existing cabs, they'll be refurbished, but there'll be basically the vehicle portion will be new, but we'll be using the cabs. And those cabs are built to last 25 years, and these vehicles are about 8 to 10 years old. So we'll get certainly another use out of them by going through this. And it saves us probably somewhere in the area for the 2 vehicles, $100,000 to $125,000.
So it says in the notes that these, it says 2003 Horton. I'm assuming that's the year that we have purchased them new?
Yeah, it would be the vehicle, that's the original vehicles, right.
And they wore out in 12 years?
They get a lot of mileage, sure, absolutely.
Do you know what the mileage on?
I don't have it here, but they do. That's probably a little long for ambulance vehicles, yes.
And this runtime,
It's not like a fire truck. It's a different type of vehicle.
And then it's you've got another $100,000 here in just vehicle upgrades unspecified?
Yeah, that's for one of the, in general, we have not identified vehicles for that, but that allows us to do major vehicle repairs. For instance, if a fire truck, blows a transmission, and it's a $60,000 or $70,000 item, which we didn't anticipate in vehicle repairs, it would allow us to do a major capital repair. Again, these are funds that set us aside. I mean, we come to you once a year for capital funds, but we have needs that reach out over 26 or 24 meetings or 20 meetings, whatever the number is during a year. We want to be in a position to have funds set aside for the needs. This is a big city, a big town, and it's not something we can predict. So
that's all the questions I have.
Thank you, Councilman. Anyone else wishing to be heard on this ordinance? Seeing none, Madam Clerk?
Is there a motion to adopt ordinance 245015 on second and final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
No.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Ordinances on first reading, ordinance 2451-15, and ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 7 Traffic, subsection 7-20, stop intersections of the revised general ordinances of the Township of West Orange. Is there a motion to approve on first reading?
Motion moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
Council President, I just want to list the names. This ordinance is about stop signs, and the stop signs will be placed at Nance Road and Warren Road, Crestmont Road and Warren Road on Crestmont Road, Powell Drive and Blackstock Road. Stop sign will be on Powell, and Connell Drive and Blackstock Road. The stop sign is being proposed on Connell Drive. Thank you.
Madam Clerk?
Ordinance 2452-15, an ordinance amending Chapter 5, Sections 32.10 and 32.11 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of West Orange, police requested towing and storage services.
Council President, the administration is going to ask that we remove that from the agenda because there are some additional issues that came up today that we want to deal with, and rather than do 2 ordinances, we're going to redo it and do 1.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Sayers.
So I'd like to withdraw that from the agenda.
Okay. Make note that this ordinance is being pulled by the administration.
Ordinance 2453-15, an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 7 Traffic, subsection 7-32.2, restricted parking zones of the revised general ordinances of the Township of West Orange. Is there a motion to approve on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Cirillo?
Yes.
Councilman Krokoviac?
Yes.
Councilwoman Spango?
Yes.
Councilwoman McCartney?
Yes.
Council President Garino.
Yes.
And Council President, also this is handicap parking spaces are being proposed. These are the addresses: 89 Cherry Street, 10 Fremont Street, 11 Kirk Street, 14 Llewellyn Avenue, 75 Lindsley Avenue, and 64 Mitchell Street.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Welcome.
Okay.
There's nothing left on the agenda.
Okay. So before we ask for a motion to adjourn our council meeting, we'd like to thank you all for spending time with us tonight. Please make an effort to come down and visit us, be part of the workings of government. Don't forget the street fair on June 6th. And thank you. Madam Clerk, I make a motion to adjourn our council meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. The motion is carried.
Good night, West Orange.